I keep wondering, what is their theory of change exactly? Because if you were to erase every reference to gayness and gay people from the planet, which is sort of what the Don't Say Gay bill feels like, will children not become gay? There are huge funders of the right-wing movement that like to remain quiet, and they gather in meetings and they make decisions about what's the message that's resonating and what's the message that's not.
All right, here to react is tonight's company, Newsmax political analyst Mark Halperin, and the host of the Trish Regan Show, Trish Regan. Good to see you both. Mark, I've been in politics going on close to 3 decades. I know you've been doing this a long time as well. I am not aware of any group on the right that exists that is working to eliminate the work or the reference of gays from the planet, number one. Number two, that meets to determine the messaging that everybody follows in a regular basis and then tells everyone what to do. So that was an interesting revelation that she apparently shared with us. The thing that was so funny is Facts First, Brian Stelter just nodded his head there and didn't push back on anything, which I thought was fascinating from a man who talks about disinformation all the time, just allowed that claim to go unchecked.
Reliable sources, I think, exist to give you content for your Monday program, so that's nice. Look, the reality is that companies that go woke, I study this pretty carefully, they don't go back. Once they make the decision to let their liberal employees control their corporate decision making, they don't go back. And it breeds the kind of rhetoric that other people in television might let go by, but which is going to certainly further divide the country.
But can I just, real quick, and again, I've seen it from my perspective. Are you aware, yes or no, of any organization on the right, or anywhere, frankly, that meets in secret and determines how everyone on the right will message?
No, and no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Trish, this just shows you why messaging actually is so important, because you have Abigail Disney there talking about the quote unquote Don't Say Gay bill, which is actually the parental rights bill, talking about the rights that parents have to be a part of their kids' education, what they're taught. The bill, as we've discussed many times, doesn't even say the word gay at all. It's all about not being able to talk about sexual orientation with 3 to 5 to 8-year-olds, not about, oh, you can't have a conversation at all. It's let's bring the parents in, but they want to ignore this. And I think it's so important because that is what is spinning up people like Abigail Disney and people on the left and Disney to blow this way out of proportion, to do what they're doing now and turning tons of parents off.
And Lindsay, it's a huge mistake, huge, massive mistake. Look, we saw it in Virginia, right, where parents felt like they didn't have enough control over their children and the culture that was being sort of force-fed to them in school. And so this is a mistake, really, in my view, of epic proportions, because, again, you know, this is, to your point, this is about teaching kids not about, you know, sexuality at that stage. I mean, you don't even want to have those conversations, you know, on the heterosexual level at 3 and 4 and 5 years old. I mean, it's just too darn young. Thank you very much. And the idea that somehow you're supposed to explore all this other stuff, I mean, it's a lot for any kid to handle, and it's certainly a lot for any parent to handle. And so this is a huge mistake, and I'm sort of surprised at the naivete of the Democrat Party for going down this path, because it's not going to play in Peoria, as they say.
Yeah, well, the polling that we just showed clearly showed that a lot of their own base isn't on board with this. Mark, I want to flip stations, if you will, over to ABC's This Week. Jonathan Karl was filling in for George Stephanopoulos. He tried to kind of play the gotcha game with Christie, asking him about his criticism and then potential support for Donald Trump. Take a look at the exchange here.
But let me ask you, Chris, we heard Mitch McConnell say that despite all that he has said about Donald Trump, that he would still support him if he was the Republican nominee. You have said the same thing. How is that tenable?
Listen, this is the gotcha question.
No, it's not the gotcha.
No,
So this truly is the new gotcha question. If you're a Republican that critiques Trump, but Trump becomes the nominee, then the new media gotcha question is, how could you possibly vote for him? And I mean, I thought Christie actually handled it well, which was, well, I'm a Republican, and why would I ever vote for a Democrat like Bernie Sanders or whomever? Jonathan Karl seems to think that that's a tough question for a Republican. I would argue it's probably not a tough question for a Democrat to argue as well, if whoever their nominee is, right? They're not going to vote for a lifelong Democrat or Republican's not going to vote for the other person.
You don't think John Karl would ask John Tester if he would support Elizabeth Warren if she were the nominee? You don't think he'd ask that one?
Yeah, well, a good point, though. I don't think there's ever been a candidate or a guest that they've ever asked that on the other side. This is their new go-to.
I was being sarcastic.
I know you were.
They would.
I know you were, but I just took advantage of it.
Okay. Look, I think the press.
Oh, go ahead.
Just the press obviously the dominant press has a huge attitude about Donald Trump and about his role in the Republican Party. And, if that kind of question bothers you, I think you're going to need some more milk and cookies, because it's going to be the kind of question that gets asked for the next couple of years.
Right.
The thing about this is, Trish, I think the media, they actually love Trump. They love their disdain from Trump. That is what gets them numbers. That's why they ask these questions, even though they're unfair and they may not ask the other side. They know that it's going to have some friction.
Isn't that the beauty of it all, right? I mean, I think they would love to see a Trump Hillary 2.0. This is what succeeded for them in terms of the fireworks and the constant news cycle. I mean, I don't know as it was healthy for America to see that constant news cycle playing out in such vicious ways on cable television, but they loved it. So don't kid yourself. I mean, they would love to see this all over again, because it would actually be meaningful for their programs, which, by the way, have suffered considerably without Trump being there to give them something to spice it up.
I think you're right. I mean, to Lindsay's point, late night shows, the media, they can't give up Trump. They are addicted to him. Every one of their shows, they have to talk about him. Anyway, Mark, Trish, always appreciate you guys breaking these Monday shows, helping break down the Sunday shows on Monday with us. Thank you very much.
Have a great night.